Hello everyone, my name is AJ Pushpak and I am very excited to present my project on IMDb data analysis using Excel. First off, what is IMDb? IMDb is an online database platform to rate movies. So usually the success of the movie is directly related to IMDb ratings. So what are the factors that involves good IMDb ratings? So the project mainly aims at uncovering or checking hidden trends related to movie ratings, genres, and box office performance. The tech stack that I have used is Microsoft Excel to handle data sets and perform various operations like data manipulation, analysis, and visualization. Microsoft Word to prepare the project report, Microsoft PowerPoint to make this engaging presentation, and have used uh, Canva also to make the presentation, and Loom to, of course, screen record the presentation. The approach that I followed was I utilized the data set provided in the link, which was on the Trinity dashboard. I downloaded the link, then I understood the data, moved on with data cleaning, data processing, and then data analysis. Post that, I did data visualization, and then I came up with certain insights. I extracted certain insights and drew meaningful conclusions out of it. So how I did the data cleaning was, first, when I got the data, it was an uncleaned, cluttered data. So when I saw this data for the first time, let me show you. It was of 5,043 rows and 28 columns. 5,043 rows and 28 columns. I had to understand the data. I had to understand the project description first. I wanted to know what all columns I need and what all columns I do not need. So I deleted most of the columns that we did not need it and added certain columns like profit column, which was needed for the project, which is for the task 5. So I went on to remove unwanted columns. Then I went on to identify the missing value. All right. Identifying the missing value, I made a separate table where I a separate table where I put all the missing values, and percentage of missing values were also calculated. I found out that director, duration, and language had minimum like 2%, 0.3%, and 0.24% of missing value. So I decided to delete those columns. Then what I saw was gross and budget columns had 18% and 10% missing values. I thought it would be better for me to do an imputation. So I did an imputation for gross and budget columns respectively. Post that, I handled the missing values by doing imputation and I deleted certain columns. I asserted missing values. Then I checked for the duplicate value. Duplicate value being here, I used a filter option to check the movie column. The If the director column is repeated, that's not a point. If the duration column is repeated, that's also not a problem. But if the movie name is repeated, that becomes a problem. I discovered 122 rows, something like that. So I had to delete 122 duplicate values. Next off, I did the correction of the data format. By that, what I mean was, see, the language is in general format, budget has to be in currency format, and profit has to be in currency format, and IMDb score should be in number format. Then the proper formatting of the data should be done. So I did that. Post that, outlier, I checked for the outlier. For the gross column and the budget column, I checked for the outlier. Then I put out a box plot. First, scatter plot was drawn. Post that, uh, a box and whisker plot was done. Post that, I did a statistical way of handling this method was IQR method. So I checked for Q1, Q3, quartile 1, quartile 3, lower bond, upper bond. If the number is lesser than the lower bond and if the number is more than the upper bond, that is called as an outlier. Here, for the gross column separately, I did it. For the budget column, I did it separately. Then I performed a AND operation for both of it, and I deleted true values. If outlier in this column and if outlier in this column, then I have to delete it. So certain uh, rows were deleted like that. So after performing outlier treatment, data validation was done. Yeah. So once I was done with data cleaning, I was initially I had 5043 rows. Then I was left with 4583 rows once I finished my data cleaning. Next, went on to do the analysis that we were supposed to do. There were like 5 analysis that had to be done: movie genre analysis, duration analysis, language analysis, and many more. So I started with the movie genre analysis, and I got the most popular genre as drama, with a count of 2,415 as the number. The least popular genre that I found was Western. And when I started digging out for more information, I got to know that biography has the highest average rating with the value 7.1, has the highest average rating. Drama genre has the maximum IMDb 9.3. No wonder people produce more movies on this genre. So, movie genre analysis is this one. Here, usually people in this genre analysis, people divide the column into multiple columns, divide the genre columns into multiple columns, and then uh, proceed with the analysis. But what I did was I kept on watching Siddharth sir's video on Trinity Dashboard. He had used the concept wildcard. So I thought, why will I should also use this concept and proceed with the analysis. So I was like, I will not divide this into multiple columns. Instead, take this as a single column. This is a B column. This starts from B2 to B4583. So with this, I started using a wildcard and started analyzing things. So when the genre column was started, here I manually entered. I did not know the concept of unique here. The unique function concept was not known till this movie genre analysis. So I had to manually pick out genres and write it down like this. Post that, I used COUNTIF with wildcards right here. COUNTIF was done, mean was done. For mean, average F was done, median also. Okay. Once I calculated all of these things, I got a separate histogram for this. This is a radar chart which shows drama has the highest 9.3. Okay. And here, if you see, drama has the highest number 2415. Okay. Done with movie genre analysis. And then I went on to do, just give me 1 second. After genre analysis, I did a duration analysis. It's getting time for it to load. Yeah. Movie duration analysis was done. Then I found out certain insights there. For a movie to have a good IMDb rating, the duration has to be somewhere around 70 minutes to 155 minutes. Considering the stage now, Pre-COVID, we have seen movies which lasted for 3 hours or 3.5 hours also. But situation has changed now. People are more into quality content, but we have to deliver quality content but in a less possible time. So the rise of OTT also has an impact in in these things. 70 minutes to 155 minutes is what people like. If we have movies with the duration 70 minutes to 155 minutes, there are higher chances of IMDb ratings like this. I've shown this in the diagram. So average movie duration is 107 minutes. That is around uh, 1 hour, 1 hour 40 or 50 minutes. Yeah. Moving on to movie duration analysis. Just a moment. Yes. So I pulled out data, duration, and IMDb square in a separate worksheet. Then I had to search. This is the duration analysis, right? Okay. Not much calculation has I have done here. I have pulled out a chart. Moving on to language analysis. English, as far as I found, English is the most used language for making movies. What surprised me the most is the rise of Telugu movies here. Telugu movies, I found out that the Telugu movies has the highest IMDb average rating with a rating of 8.4. After English movies, it is the French and Spanish movies who produce more number of movies. So this is the language analysis. How I did this is first I selected unique language names. So till I did movie genre analysis, I did not know the concept of unique function. when I when I started doing language analysis, I got to know about unique because language were too much. I thought it will be difficult for me to pick each and every language. So I was checking on Google and got to know about the concept of unique. So I put this unique function here, then got all unique values of languages here, then used a countif function to check the number of movies for each language, then performed with the rest of descriptive statistics. Average, median, variance, and standard deviation was done. Okay, this is the graph. This is the area chart that I've drawn, in which you can see Telugu has the highest average IMDb rating. This is the IMDb rating. Y-axis is the IMDb rating. X-axis is the language. We see Telugu having high average rating. Post that, I went on to do the director analysis. I got to know that Carrie Bell is the director with highest average IMDb rating of 8.7. And Steven Spielberg, as we all know, he produces most number of movies. The number of movies he produced was 23. For this to happen, director analysis. So when I started with director analysis, first thing that I had in my mind was not to use pivot chart. I wanted to do the manual work and wanted to understand the difficulties that we face. Pivot table is a boon for us now. What I was like, I'll do this experiment where I will not use pivot table and continue with the project. So it took me a lot of time to do this, but it is worth the effort. So I pulled out director name, IMDb score. So then unique function was used. I pulled out all unique values of directors here. Post that, I use sequence function to name the serial numbers. Serial numbers were done. Post that, to calculate average if was used. To find the count of movies, here also Siddharth search videos I was constantly watching. There was this one concept of some product. I was like, I should use this to find the count of something. You can use some product. Here what I did is, you can see this double negative. I have used double negative. Double negative converts true or false to ones and zeros. By using this thing, I found count of movies of all of these directors. So it took me a lot of time for me to calculate each and everything. Then this one, director with high IMDb ratings, I found out Carrie Bell. Here also I used unique function. Then I had to use. Then instead of pivot table, what I did was, I used the index function. The index function was used here. Uh, to be honest, how do I start? Okay, so to find the most, to find the maximum function, I mean, how I found Steven Spielberg was, here I used the function large instead of max. I used the function large. Large. I performed. This is the range. Okay, k value denotes which, what is the number. This is the first large number. If I put 2 here, this will be Woody Allen. If I put 3 here, this will be this one. So I found out large values for all of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the index of it, Steven Spielberg. How I found out Steven Spielberg was, here index function was used, matching it to this thing. I found Steven Spielberg, and I did it with everyone else. All right. Yeah. Then comes the budget analysis. What I found out was, the movie with the highest profit margin is Star Wars Episode 4, and movie with the highest budget is also Star Wars Episode 4. So we have this common notion in our mind that if we have high budget, we have high ratings, high profits. This is somewhat true in this case. As I said in first slide, success is related to high IMDb ratings. How will we find how will we get high IMDb ratings? Just a moment. So if we put high budget for a movie, it is usually we'll get quality content. If we get a quality content, it is obvious that we'll have a enhanced visual experience. If we have a enhanced visual experience, our mood will be nice. If we have good mood, we are usually will give positive reviews. The positive review is directly related to the rating that we give. So this is how it works. So Star Wars, the popular notion becomes true here. Highest budget, high budget, and high profit is there. And uh, when I digged onto this analysis once again, I did not conclude this as a thing. Then, when I found out the correlation coefficient between movie budget and gross earning, it was 0.07. It was a weak positive relationship. So, what this means is, there is no specific guarantee that if you put high budget, you will get high return. So, for that, I have an example. Lady Vengeance is the movie with the highest loss of this much dollars, $419 million of loss it has suffered. Even being a high budget movie, it suffered loss of this much. So, so what we can conclude is, uh, high budget usually gives high profit, but you can't stay with the uh, stay this I mean, you can't always conclude that high budget will give you high profits. For that, I have an example, but it is out of the data set. There was this one recent movie called as Kantara. Kantara was a low budget movie, but the profit margin it offered was more. What what nice thing happened with the movie was, it was of a different genre. First of all, the quality was incredible, and the movie duration was also not that much. So This captivated the audience, and it resulted in high IMDb ratings. So what I says, the quality has to matter, no matter what is the budget. The result being, the final result of the movie genre analysis is, drama, comedy, thriller, and romance are the most prevalent genres on IMDb, with drama accounting for the highest number of top rated movies. And when it comes to duration, I told, duration 70 to 150 minutes is the optimum duration. And like, for to have good IMDb ratings. Language analysis, English is the most used language, or the dominant language for top rated movies, followed by French and Spanish. When it came to director analysis, renowned director like Steven Spielberg, Woody Allen, and Clint Eastwood have the highest number of top-rated movies on IMDb. Carrie Bell, Charles Chaplin, and Damien Chazelle are the directors with high average IMDb ratings. So when it comes to budget analysis, high-budget films like Star Wars Episode 4 tend to have higher rating on IMDb, with a correlation between production. Okay. When I checked with the correlation coefficient, it was 0.07 between production budget and movie ratings. It's a weak positive relationship. With that thing, I concluded. I will, yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the budget analysis. I want to show how I used it here. Uh, I had changed the data format to currency, then only budget, profit. So I wrote a if statement here. If C3 is greater than, if this is greater than this, then it is a profit. Otherwise, it's a loss. So I selected all of it: profit, loss, profit, loss. Here also, I could have used pivot table, but instead I used large and index. This was fun, but it took a lot of time for me to complete it. Maximum profit, five companies were this, high budget movies were these, and high loss making movies were these. All of it with the formula that I used here was here. For all of this, I used large. For loss making movies, I used small, range, and one or two. This is the second one. So two. After that, index. We have to match it. We have to club, match, index, and small. Three of it. So that's how it goes. This is the final analysis that I've done for IMDb analysis. So thank you for your time. Thanks for your attention. Thank you so much.